Hello, everyone. My name is Keith Jackson, and welcome to Jack's Math Notebook. And right now, you're looking at our 10th and final video as it relates to exponent rules. And you're looking at our third and final video as it relates to the negative exponent rule. And we have four big examples to show you how the negative exponent rule works. And so let's take a look at big example 9, in which we have negative 6x raised to the fifth times y raised to the negative second power. And we're going to understand why we got this answer right here, negative 6x raised to the fifth over y to the second power. The reason why we have y to the second power down here is because when we see a number or a variable raised to the negative power, it automatically goes into the denominator. All right, and that's why we have, again, negative 6x raised to the fifth power divided by y to the second power right here. And let's take a look at big example 10 to kind of deepen our understanding of the negative exponent rule. And we're really going to deepen our understanding on this example, and you'll see why in just a second. And so let's say right here, we have the quantity of 2a raised to the second power times b raised to the negative fourth power, all that raised to the negative second power. Okay, so now let's just do this. Let's just drop this b raised to the negative fourth power in the denominator as a positive, just to see just right here. You see it right here. We see b raised to the fourth power right here. And now we have 2a raised to the second power over b raised to the fourth power, all that raised to the negative second power. Now here's what's going to happen. The 2a raised to the second power and the b raised to the fourth power in the denominator, they're going to switch positions. And here's how that's going to happen. Okay, so any quantity up here in the numerator raised to the negative power, again, is going to be 1 over this quantity, and that's why 2a raised to the second power is going to end up being down here. Now, here's going to happen to b raised to the fourth power raised to the negative second power. That's going to give us b raised to the negative eighth power in the denominator. Now, if we have a negative exponent in the denominator, then it automatically becomes positive, and we have to put in the numerator, just like we did right here. And so now it becomes b raised to the eighth power, because see, b raised to the fourth power raised to the second power would give us b raised to the eighth power. And now we could just simply do what we normally do with exponents. And so we have right here, 2 raised to the second power would give us 4, and we have a raised to the second power raised to the second power, and that would give us a raised to the fourth power. So our final answer is going to be b raised to the eighth power over 4a raised to the fourth power. Now let's move to big example 11 to help us understand that concept even further. All right, and so now in this situation, we're going to have, okay, in the numerator, we're going to have x raised to the second power. We have the quantity of x raised to the second power over y raised to the third power, all that raised to the third power. Now what's going to happen here, we're going to have x raised to the second power raised to the negative third power, and that's going to give us x to the negative sixth power, which will force us to write it as 1 over x to the sixth power that you see in our final answer. And then what we have right here, we have y raised to the negative third power, because it's raised to the negative third power in the denominator. That means we have to put it in the numerator right over here. And this is why you have the situation in which we have y raised to the third power, x to the second power raised to the third power, and you have our final answer right here as y raised to the third power over x raised to the sixth power. And let's move to big example 12, in which we have, let's say, p raised to the negative 8 power over p raised to the negative 2 power. Now, before we switch them, let's just do this. We're going to apply the rule in which we're going to divide the exponents, and you divide them by combining them. And so in this case, because it is positive right here, we're just going to simply say we're going to write it as p raised to the 8 power plus the second power. Because since it's negative down here, that means it's positive up here, and we can do that. And so now we have p raised to the negative 8 power plus the second power, and that's going to give us p raised to the negative 6 power. And if it's raised to the negative 6 power, it automatically goes down in the denominator right here in a positive way, 1 over p raised to the 6th power. All right, so you have been given a lot of information. the type of information that you probably need to process. And I wouldn't blame you if you pause the video and just take a look at how things work, or replay this video as many times you need to gain a deeper understanding of the negative exponent rule. But in the meantime, please comment, share, like, and subscribe to Jack's Math Notebook for more content. Thank you and goodbye.